I swear, these guys are Mandalorians. But anyway, he's talking in riddles. And that riddle can be solved by the item we actually find in this chest. The final dungeon item in this game is going to be... You got the light arrow. Set it to one of the item buttons to power up your arrows with magic. The sacred light of justice resides in these arrows. Aim true to slay evil and light the way. Say hello to the most powerful weapon in this game. Not counting certain swords. But the light arrow is actually the whole reason why you want to have infinite magic by this point, because it actually drains a lot more magic than the fire and ice arrows do, and for good reason. But first, let's get out of this place. That light arrow is not going to help us too much. Before we actually move out of here, we actually want to go down here first, because there's another cheese coming up. There is actually a switch down here, which we normally cannot reach. However, if we place a bomb like this, the explosion can still reach this upside down switch, giving us a normal chest, not upside down for once. And trust me, hitting the switch already so we can get this chest, it saves a lot of time, so it's very recommended to do it like this. Oh, ferry. Yeah, let's bring along a ferry. I highly doubt I'm going to die with this much health and double defense, but still. I'm getting one for free, so I might as well bring it along. But okay, this is actually a chest I got early. Normally you're supposed to get this later. However, this saves a lot of time. Okay, let's move out of here. We've got a Helmosaur here, so make sure we can actually take him out. Let's shoot you! Bam! Pretty much everything dies in one hit with the light arrows, just saying. However, like I said, pretty much everything, not everything. Remember this guy, which we actually saw on an unreachable bridge? We are now on that bridge, and this guy we can actually only defeat with light arrows. And a lot of them, actually. Okay, 4 of them. But still, 4 light arrows is usually enough to drain all of your magic, if it's not infinite. But luckily, I don't have to worry about that. It's the whole reason why I bought the Chateau Romani in the first place. Okay, here's number 8. And we are back at the beginning, because this is actually where it loops around again, as you can see. However, unlike last time, we actually got a very powerful weapon now, which is not just powerful against enemies, but we can also now use light without a beam of light, you might say. So switches like these, where no light is actually present, we can now finally also activate. And in this case, it, surprise, surprise, spawns an upside down chest. And as you may remember, there's actually another block in that water room where we can do the same now. Okay, remember these blocks. Now that we have the dungeon item, the light arrow, we can also get rid of these blocks without a beam of light, because we've got light on demand now. Okay, first you need to do the other one on the other side of the room if the switch isn't pressed. But I already did, so we can immediately grab the chest for Stray Fairy number 9. And with that, the dungeon is completed. Everything that is still left is upside down, and therefore we cannot do. So let's go listen to the words of the Garrow, who said we need to shoot the red emblem at the entrance of the temple with the light arrow. Apparently that will rearrange the world, quote unquote rearrange. Let's go. Let's solve this mystery. This looks fancy. And let's shoot it with some light. Whoa, topsy-turvy! Okay, you might have seen this coming. But yeah, the world is now upside down. The sky is below our feet, and the ground is above our bunny ears. Stone Tower, actually goes up now instead of down. And I don't want to make a picture. I never would have guessed the sky would actually turn into an endless pit. However, the dungeon is still accessible even in this reversed state. So all these reversed things we've been seeing, the reversed chests, and even the upside down doors and stuff like that, we can now access. Now understand why the dungeon was so small, and that is because we have to do it twice. In a different perspective. And these upside down chests are now our prey. Of course, these also contain stray fairies. Okay, even new enemies start appearing when the dungeon's rearranged. However, that guy's unreachable for now, so let's not worry about him. Let's worry about the fact that even though we are in the same dungeon, with the same room layout, but because of the fact that being upside down now, it actually feels like a completely different dungeon. You can definitely not compare it to what we just saw. This room, for instance, it was actually filled with water just a moment ago. Now the water is gone, and it actually is a room that goes upward instead of down. So there's a lot of air streams for our Deku-Link powers. However, there's also an upside down chest over here. Which actually spawns because of hitting that frozen ice switch. Okay, that does not work. Let's just jump up there then. Okay, that's number 11. Okay, the frozen ice switch is actually also accessible when the dungeon is upside down. As you can see, but we already pressed it, so... Or already shot it, I mean. You can't press an ice switch, but you know what I mean. Okay, moving further up in this place, we actually find this tunnel over here. It used to be the water tunnel that we used to get here. That is, of course, still here. And there's actually a switch in it now. At least the switch was already here, but now we can actually press it. This is a switch we can press. And it actually spawns a chest, a fancy one, so therefore it's going to be... Oh yeah, of course. First you need to get rid of your mask. Even the light arrow is not powerful enough to break his shell. But anyway, like I was trying to say, because of it being a small fancy chest, it always is a small key. Which we can actually use on a locked door higher up. Right over there, in fact. However, there's actually more for us to do. As you can see, we have another chest. The one we actually spawned when we were still underwater in the normal dungeon. However, it is surrounded by fire now, so we still can't get it. But this switch is actually going to take care of that. First let's hit this thing, which is going to be annoying because this will actually spawn an upside down chest. So we need to get that later. But at least we can get this one by putting the flames out. And it's a blue switch, so remember to put your soldier with no heart on it. Okay, the chests that start appearing upside down we'll get later. We obviously need to return the dungeon to normal before we can actually grab those. Which is a pretty annoying aspect in the Stone Tower Temple, if I need to be honest. Never really liked that fact. But we still need to return the temple to normal for a slight moment to get a handful of chests that actually spawn this way. But it is what it is. Let's first just finish the dungeon as much as we can before we start worrying about that. Let's get to the door. Ow! Stupid mines. Okay, where are we? Oh. There's a pool of lava on the ceiling. But of course, normally it's not the ceiling. Let's return the dungeon to normal in this room. Because all of these ledges were a problem. We can't jump that high. But we can roll through lava, of course. Interesting puzzles. Just single rooms where we need reverse and re-reverse the dungeon over and over again in order to solve the puzzles and get through. But unfortunately we cannot actually use the emblems in here to get to the rest of the dungeon. As you can see, there's only one door, no upside down door, so you can't use this to actually grab the chest quickly. However, we do have another puzzle where we need to do something similar. As you can see, we have a block that we need to shove to the other side of the room. However, the moment we get blocked, we need to topsy-turvy the room so we can continue. Just make sure you're not on top of the block when you do, because you'll get squished and we need to restart the room. We don't want that. So the moment you get stuck, hit the emblem again quickly while not standing on top of the block. And make sure you don't get confused with the changing of perspective because of the fact that we changed the room 180 degrees. It can be quite confusing where we need to go if we actually change the room around again. Oh, come on. Yeah, these guys are here to actually make sure you have light arrows. Because you can technically run out, of course. Both arrows and magic. So to make sure you never get stuck in this room. The game is nice enough to actually give infinitely respawning choo-choos. One containing magic power and one containing arrows. Otherwise, soft lock situations can appear, of course. Even though you technically still wouldn't be soft locked, because you can still use the Song of Soaring to get out of here. But that is also something you don't want. But that's pretty much the reason why these choo-choos are here. But okay, once the puzzle is solved, we get another Wizrobe fight. Oh, and I wish I could say this was the final one. Because indeed, we are going to see him again after this. But not in this dungeon. In this dungeon, this is actually the only time we see him. Oh, apparently that one was too early. Okay, with the light arrow being so powerful, this guy's not going to take very long. He'll be out quite quickly. Only 2 shots per face with the light arrow. And there you are. See, even though we need to face him way too many times, he's still no problem because of the high power weapons we have at this point in the game. He's only a minor nuisance. Okay, let's use the chest to get up here. Also not forget to open the chest. Because it still contains a stray fairy after all. We can use it to get back to this room, which is now littered with bows. Okay, if you're going to turn invisible, then I'm just going to ignore you. I'm pretty sure we don't have to defeat these guys. There is a key for us to get in this room, but we actually don't need to defeat the bows for that. Or any of the enemies. The chest is already there. In fact, we already saw the chest hanging upside down on the ceiling. We're finally going to get it. This is the room with the 4 pressure switches. We might recognize it even though we're upside down. And this is actually the first time we're going to meet these things. We did see them through the gate in the first room, but now we're actually going to face them. And this is how you take care of them, as you can see. Turn them upside down, and then make them plummet into the ground. And because, as you can see, if they plummet into the ground normally, it won't do too much to them, but when they're upside down, it will kill them. That's how these things work. Okay, another Ben drowned, coming right up. Sorry, Ben. And that is a reference I have to make. I'm pretty sure everybody does. Okay, and now we finally get this chest. It is a small key. One we're going to need later. Okay, I'm pretty sure there's nothing here. Oh, excuse me! I'm leaving, I know when I'm not welcome. Okay, let's continue. Okay, split pathway. As you can see, there's also a door over here. Let's go here first. Because here's a switch we need to press. However, it's going to be hindered by this guy. The very same guy we just... Come on. The very same guy we just saw through the grating in the very first room. That is in fact where we are right now. And this is what it does. Another upside down chest. However, this one is a lot more important, because this one is actually required to reach the end of the dungeon. And luckily it's in the beginning of the dungeon, so it's not that big of a deal changing the dungeon around to get it. But before we go back to the beginning of the dungeon, we're first going to do this over here. Let's get rid of these mines. I'm pretty sure you can't avoid them, so... need to get rid of them, at least 2 of them, so we can actually get to that safe spot over there. It's too far to fly to the door directly, so we have to do it like this. I just wanted some recovery hearts. Apparently even that is too much to ask for. Morning of the final day. 24 hours remain and I'm still in the dungeon. Okay, I'm a little bit behind schedule, but it still shouldn't be too bad. Pretty sure I can still finish the dungeon in time. And the event I need to do after that. Before time runs out. Okay, make sure not to get hit by the blue bubbles here, because there's actually another boss fight coming up. So we actually want to use our sword here. Okay, the boss fight for the boss key in this dungeon is... some kind of shadowy figure with a lot of bats and a very big scythe. I'm pretty sure this guy is actually called Gomez. And this is how we want to take care of him. You can use light arrows to actually get rid of his bat shield. Or just let him get rid of him normally when he starts attacking you. And the moment he no longer has a bat shield, we can actually attack him. Otherwise we can't. The best way to do it is just shoot a light arrow at them so they disperse and we can hit him with our sword. And that is how easy he is. Okay, once he's taken care of, the door to the boss key opens up. So let's grab it quickly. Okay, the final boss key in this game. And with that we're actually done in this wing of the dungeon, so let's move back to the beginning. Because the rest of the dungeon, where the boss is actually located, that we can find through the middle door of the beginning area. But before we actually do, let's get the chests that we've missed. Both of them, that actually appeared upside down. At least upside down for us right now. So let's return the dungeon to normal real quick. And unfortunately we do need to press the switches again. Okay, it's pretty annoying, we have to redo that. It would have been better if the game just spawns you on the ledge with the dungeon, or just let the blocks still be in place. But apparently that is too much to ask. But okay, as you may remember, there are actually 2 chests that spawned in the dungeon. The first one being this one. The one we're actually going to use in order to reach that door over there. It's upside down currently, leading to the final part of the dungeon. But of course, even though we need the chest as a hookshot point, it also contains a fairy. And the final one appeared in this room, when it was filled with air streams instead of water. It was actually a sun switch that we hit. And that actually became a chest that spawned over here. Stray fairy number 15. And the final one. And go away. Okay, I'll take care of the stray fairies once we're done with the dungeon. The reward we're going to get is not required for the boss anyway, so I can save that for after the dungeon. Let's go change up the dungeon again, because obviously the final part of this dungeon, including the boss, is going to take place in the upside down part of this dungeon. But luckily this is not as tedious. Because as you can remember from the first time, when we're upside down, the blocks are already in place. So this is a lot less of a hassle. Okay, we're back. Stray fairies in hand. Let's finish this place. The second to last chest we got is not just for a stray fairy, but also a grapple point to get up there. Do make sure you've grabbed the key, because this is going to be the locked door that we've been missing. Okay, and then here we actually find another one of these guys. However, this time it's actually going to be an upgraded version, as you can see. He has a laser attack now, making him a lot more dangerous, but he still works the same. Shoot his eye with light arrows. Twice for a first hit, and another 2 times to kill him. Okay, we receive no reward here in the 3DS version. In the N64 version you do. However, I'm not going to mention it because we're going to get it later here. Okay, remember this switch? As you can see, it's already pressed. And this is actually the switch that I blew up. The one I was talking about when cheesing. That chest over there. Like I said, that saves a lot of time because... oh, come on! Otherwise we still had to rearrange the dungeon again to just get this single stray fairy. Ow! Oh, come on! I don't like this place. Okay, with some effort we're past this. Oh. There's a lot of things trying to kill me here. But anyway, here's actually a refill point, as you can see. And that is because the boss door is over here. The whole reason why the boss icon does not appear on the map when the dungeon is placed normally, because it's upside down. See the chest where we got the light arrows? And that is where we are. And that hole in the ceiling is now a hole in the floor, leading to a mysterious spot. Let's go see how mysterious the boss is going to be.